I think we're live here, y'all. Yeah, I think we're live here. Okay. Well, let me make sure we're going here. Okay, let's chill out real quick. We'll figure it out as we go, all right? I've agreed to come in front of the camera, sit and do some channeling, some messages from the guides, the extraterrestrials, the light beings who have been protecting me for my whole entire life. They've been trying to convince me to sit down and do a long form conversation and channel, and I've agreed to it tonight. So the first thing we're gonna do is start off with some divine protection, okay? Because we always keep it righteous and pure, because only love and light lives here. Do you know what I'm talking about? Good. Okay, so divine protection is in and around me and my apartment, and with my guides. We only welcome love and light and transmissions that lead to transformation here. All is auspicious, all is well. We're entered into a field of mutual respect here in this zone. I used to do videos like this maybe 10, 15 years ago, and we've seen some very mystical happenings take place during videos. I stopped doing those for quite some time, but this is the first time I've been back in quite a long time for this, something like this. So divine protection is in and around us, and we are preparing for whatever messages come through. I'm just as open as anybody else is here in this space to receive whatever conversation would like to come through. We do have some incense here that I'm going to start with. We have the crown chakra, we have the root chakra, and we have the heart chakra. So let's start with our intuition right here. Which one do you think we are going to be using today? If you picked up on the heart chakra, you're right. Green it is. All right, lovers, let's see. Put this on. Let's get into it. First of all, it's quite an intimate space to be in. It's peaceful. It's peaceful. I'm happy to be here, having this conversation with you. It's an intimate setting. I didn't think it was going to be this intimate when I agreed to it, but now that I'm sitting right here, I feel very comfortable with it. So let's get into these Akashic messages pulled from the quantum, from any past, present, or future in any dimension. And keeping in mind that only love and light is welcome here. First message. Love. Love is coming up here. Okay, so love. Different dimensions of love. Love, 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 love. So lovey-dovey, isn't it? Right? So sweet to be in love. It's the greatest happenings in our life is love. Definite love. It's so beautiful. But what is love? Is it an emotion, fleeting, passing emotion that's here for a minute in a relationship and then it's gone when people get bored with each other? Is it the love between, familial piety constructs and our family members? It's a different type of love, right? That's a love, but it's not romantic love, right? Between two beautiful souls that have come together, potentially before this manifestation into this realm and probably many lifetimes before. Love. Love, love, love. Love is the most beautiful frequency. Yeah, so we started out with the heart chakra, right? Incense, the heart chakra, incense burning. Straight to the heart, huh? That's the message. Straight to the heart space. Straight to the heart space. Transformation, alchemization, the most beautiful happenings in life. The fastest way to alchemize and become a catalyst for your own transformation in your life is to seek out the thoughts and the feelings which lead to a tremendous depth of love. When you are in love and in love with something, or someone, or a project, or yourself, or a moment in time, or a thought from a moment in the past, or you're reminiscing about a daydream that is yet to happen in the future, and you're putting yourself there energetically to have that experience of love, you're milking the vortex, you're milking the moment for everything it is, because it's so beautiful when you just stay in a frequency of positivity and love, isn't it? I got this tattoo here. I got it on a whim, right? I got this tattoo on a whim. I just went into the tattoo shop and they're like, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me seek it out. I went into meditation and I saw a rose in my inner space, and the words that came were sacred love. So I said, I'm going to get a rose with sacred love in cursive. So love is there. Love is there. Love is there. I got nothing but love for you all. I got nothing but love for you all. No matter where you are on your path, on your journey, what your thought process is right now, how beat up or tired you may be emotionally or physically or, spiritually, I got love for you. And I'll have you know that in the morning, I radiate super consciousness that touches every single soul existing on this planet. And you're part of that. My cats are running around and my dog is clacking his nails. Can you please? I'm trying to make a video, please. Have a little courtesy. Just a little courtesy, please. So love. Love is the most tremendous transformational force inbuilt in our innate nature, and that takes place in our heart space, which is closed down after some time when we come into this world and go through the constructs that lead us to begin to solidify ideas into orientation's sake and generate emotional responses to them, which over time create patterns, these feeding patterns within our muscle memory and biomemory as you experience things when you're like 4 years old, 3. I remember when I was not even 1 year old, I was looking up into my great-grandmother's glasses. She had these huge square glasses. Her name was Edith, and I remember being a little tiny baby looking up into her eyes through those glasses. So that memory is still in my muscle memory, in my biomemory. I can remember it like it happened yesterday. The memory is there. So the Akashic field is the stored universal womb. It's the womb in which every tiny little piece of matter has its foundational orientation, its place of origin, its source. Everything of this cosmos, be it material, well, it has to be material because from Shiva to Shakti in the bridge, nature, Prakrit, right? Everything born within the womb of this cosmos happens in the Akashic realm. And it stays in the Akashic realm. That's why I can remember not even being 1 year old looking up into my great-grandmother's eyes as she's rocking me in a rocking chair. Okay? Love. Bliss. Bliss, like I stated recently, is love stabilized. Not love the opposite side of the spectrum of the pendulum swinging from love And then you go through your mental, emotional, physical ups and downs, hormonal changes, and in the process of that, it swings to different degrees and goes to fear, insecurity, and the play and display of your fluctuating chakra experiences through your muscle memory and your biomemory while you're having an experience with other humans as a soul here in this divine cosmos that we are, right? Bliss is love solidified, stabilized. It's a spiritual maturity in which you have chosen the highest frequency for yourself to be your predominant way of expressing yourself, your predominant frequency that you wake up with, establish yourself in meditation in the morning, how you treat your mind and your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your relationships, your encounters with other people is bliss, love, 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 love. Okay. Where are we going next? Self-actualization. That's where we're going next. Calm down. Sit down and relax. Thank you. Self-actualization. Beings all over the planet, every single day, use the word self. Myself. Chill out. Myself, myself, myself. For orientation's sake. You orient through the world. It's just for orientation's sake. But self is really the most mystical conversation we can have, because we're talking self as in my body, self as in my job, self as in my mind and my thoughts. Self. What is myself? Any one of the trillions of atoms or subatomic happenings or molecules or photons or leptons, quarks, infinitesimal, quantum happenings? That's also part of this construct that you call self. So self is multidimensional, multifaceted. Self is the most mystical. We talk about self-actualization. We're not talking about you are your body, you are your mind, you are your mukti. Leave the incense alone. A cat. Beyond the most subtle piece of material that you are, from within, there comes a space right before the most subtle piece of material flips inside out and becomes the source itself from which it gains its self-referral consciousness. Cells are alive, they communicate. Atoms are alive, they communicate. How do they communicate? Through waves of intelligence, through sound, through memory. They have self-referral consciousness. They know what their own purpose is. They know what they're doing. They know why they've incarnated. They have a language of their own, a frequency of their own, a mathematics of their own, a self-referral infrastructure that they pull from within their own memory, which leads them every moment to know exactly how to communicate with other cells and atoms. Is that not majestic? That's also part of the self. Are you one particular atom or one particular cell inside? That's also part of yourself. Self-actualization, when it comes to the deepest, most mystical, religious, spiritual, actual happenings, is that We are the state, that universal womb. I'm sorry if that noise is getting on your nerves. It's kind of getting on mine just a little bit. Please stop moving so much, please. Existence, that universal womb state. That expanded, you can't find the head or the feet. You can't find the infinite vast expanses of it. It's endless. That is also yourself. The consciousness born of that existential reality is also yourself. And the bliss of the realization that you are an eternal being here having a temporary experience for the contract that you've come to fulfill is also yourself. Self-actualization is the most mystical of the conversations. The most mystical thought of all is eternal life. We say eternal life. When we think of the existence, right? No beginning and no end. But if we look at life like from a lens of death, say something is dead, does life come from that? Life does not come from death. So if there was ever a moment in all of eternity where the beginning was death, there's no way life could have been possible. There's no way life could have been possible. So the most mystical thought ever that one could ever contemplate is eternal life. Because that means there has never, ever, even in a single nano fraction of a second or a moment throughout all of eternity, has there been anything called or known as death. Life has been eternally alive. Because life can only come from life. Very, very mystical. Most mystical thought there is. Which is also a part of this self-experience that we're having here as a collective and an individualized expression of the grand unified superconscious existential reality. Extraterrestrials. That's the next one? Next, extraterrestrial. I'm no stranger to extraterrestrial contact. I've been visited since I was a child. I was explaining different races that were visiting me to my mother. And later in life, when shows like Ancient Aliens and different alien shows come on like that, and on TV, they're talking about the grays, the whites, the blues, the keepers of the seeds, the warrior class, the benevolent ones. And I was already explaining this as a child. I've seen fleets of ships. I've seen very, very, very close encounters of extraterrestrial spacecraft. Multiple times in this life. Multiple times in this life. Many mystical happenings. A tremendous amount of mystical happenings. Especially during ceremony or even before ceremony. People have seen light beings appear. I've seen light beings appear multiple times. I know I've been divinely protected. I have not had the easiest life. I've had to go through a tremendous amount of adversity and darkness. I have. But what I've noticed is that these light beings have always been there to protect me at my worst of times. At my worst of times. So I don't fear what can what man can do unto me in this world. You know, my trust is with the divine, because I've seen far too many times it work on my behalf to protect me and those around me with my own eyes, my own eye. And my ancestors, my guides, and my guardians, and that they don't play about me. They don't play about me, and I don't play about them either. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't play about them either. So it's a mutual bond. You know what I mean? It's a divine love and a divine respect that whatever you ask of me, I'll do within my spiritual power to get it done on this three-dimensional plane. Just give me the green light, and I'll do everything I can to make it happen. And then tarpon them. Ancestral offerings to feed your ancestors, especially during the new moon days. Okay, organic brown rice powder, black sesame seeds, and some water, and some money and coins and stuff to feed 7 generations of your family on the father and 7 generations on the mother's side. And I've worked on breaking generational patterns and curses in this life, and what do you think? I'm still in the process, but I've done very well. Done very well. Anybody have questions? Channel through the Akashic. Relationships. The best relationship you're ever going to have is your relationship with yourself, which is your relationship with the divine, because the divine is everywhere and in every single thing. It's your self-referral consciousness. Before you get into a relationship, I suggest you gain a clear and mature spiritual and material relationship with your own heart, your own mind, your own life. Love yourself totally and completely. That's a video I made yesterday about not showing up as a fractalized expression or mirror of somebody else, hoping that you are receiving the pure totality reflection of it, because that's where imbalances and insecurities start to play, and then there are power struggles and, you know, muscle memory and biomemory responses triggered within the chakras that are stored. We get money, pleasure, power, communication, intuition, grand unification, you know, love, and the collapsing of these experiences which go on. If you're not completely whole within yourself, you're going to be playing each other's systems. And those relationships, when you're entangled with those type of relationships, those tend to be more karmic, more of lessons, and not lessons in a bad way, right? Only love and light lives here. Let's go back to the foundational intent, okay? Only love and light lives here. It's not that they're bad people. It's not that you're a bad person. It's not that you're not worthy of a divine relationship. It's not worthy. It's not like you're not worthy of love, right? But to the degree in which you have realized yourself to be love and worthy of love is what you will receive from another person. And there has to be healthy boundaries in a mix of that, because in healthy boundaries, you will never, ever allow yourself to be too long in a situation that is hard on your mind, your emotions, your body, and your spirit. That is relationships. I hope everybody finds their divine counterpart, really. But in order for that to happen, there are divine counterparts existing right now in different realms and different worlds, different planes of existence, different vertical time zones, and here on the planet. You know, there are beings that have been in love, deeply in love. You ask a man who's been in love with his divine counterpart 40 years later, you still love her? I'm madly in love with her. He doesn't even hesitate. Not a split second. Doesn't even have to think about it. He knows who his woman is. He knows the love of his life. He's still madly in love with her. 30, 40, 50 years later. It depends on what you are able to manifest for yourself as far as what you can maintain in a relationship. Can you see 5 years into the future with somebody? Can you maintain peace for 5 years with another person? Can you work through every single life trivial problem with another person? Are you willing to be malleable? Are you willing to live and be in a relationship with an open heart, ready to listen and be your counterpart's support system? That can only happen if you love yourself. That can only happen if you love yourself. So the greatest relationships on this planet are always going to be the beings who are intimately connected with the divine within, because it's such a sacred honor. It's a spiritual honor. It's of the highest degree and order. And there are so many healthy boundaries that come along with that sacred heart. There's so many boundaries that come along with that. You will not ever accept anybody disrespecting you. That'll never work. So when you are intimately connected with your divine within yourself, you love yourself completely. Only then will you be able to love another being completely. Your love has to be complete in order to manifest your perfect reflection. Because life never gives us what we desire, it gives us what we are. Right? You may think you're divine love, but you may have some blind spots functioning. So when they begin to manifest in your relationship and you begin to think, oh, here we go again. It's because really deep down you haven't fully entirely healed yourself from the wounds of love in the past and the misconceptions, the misunderstandings of love. That has to be cleared up in your muscle memory and your bio memory. You have to literally feel the divine love and declare that you are complete and be complete in actuality. That's relationships. Next. I'm picking up on something humorous. I'm picking up on something humorous. I think they want. Oh, you want to lighten it a little bit? Oh, love. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. I had my grandma in Chicago, right? She was like 4 feet tall, tiny, tiny little person. I don't know if she's here right now. I don't know where that went, but something. Let's see. Am I having fun? Yeah, I'm having fun. I am having fun. I'm trying to tune in. Let's see this Akashic. Let's see who we can tune. Let's see. Tune in. Tune in. telepathic, quantum telepathic tunneling. Woo-wee! You know that shit is real. You know that shit is real. You be on the opposite side of the planet and you have a direct streamline right through the center of the planet connecting to the other person's third eye and heart chakra, right? You be feeling things, thinking things, really going through some things. Really going through some things. You know, be careful with the quantum entanglement stuff. You know what I mean? You really have to be mature with that because there are enlightened ethics when it comes to that. You can't like intrude on other people's frequency and this and that. It has to be of the utmost honor and respect. You know, cordial as can be. Like, good evening, darling, type cordial, right? Akashic. I had 2 Akashic readings done in this life. Okay. I know beings. I know beings. Very, very powerful beings who are able to access and read the Akashic field in past lives. I had 2 Akashic readings done about my life, right? I'm not going to share those details, but it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. What's the next message? Golden Age frequency. The Golden Age frequency. Grand unification. Grand unification. Okay, so collectively speaking and technologically speaking, look at the trends in the programming of this world. Is it not lower kind of frequencies, what the trends are going on and all that? No. So one day the Golden Age frequency is going to be the #1 trending subject on planet Earth. And when that happens, we're going to be sitting up righteous. We're going to be sitting up righteously because there are so many beings now who are waking up to the fact that all that is required to bring the Golden Age frequency to the planet is hold the benevolent state and space of grand unification. Just know that, hey, I exist for the highest good of all existing here on this planet right now. And I'm a benevolent factor in a force field, an antenna that is able to radiate out and affect everybody from the quantum level. And when you have millions of people doing that at the same time, guess what? We're establishing a new world frequency, a golden age frequency, where love, light, the highest principles and experiences are the forefront trends of society. And you actually have benevolent governors, benevolent politicians, benevolent rulers and spiritual guides and leaders of the world, right, that are actively engaged in performing these actions, which are the materialized expressions of the subjective frequency and nature of the infrastructure that we call the Golden Age frequency. It is of love, it is of light, it is of truth, it is of unity. Those are principles that we as human beings in this form were created to experience and express. The human body was created in order to experience existence and consciousness and know divinity itself. This is the owner's manual. You know, read the owner's manual. There's many scriptures that say this is exactly it. And all of our lifetimes are stored in our soul genetic DNA. the living library within. There will come a time when the golden age frequency is trending. Right now, you make a video about the golden age frequency, what are you gonna get, 1 view, 2 views, 10 views and all that? Don't ever base your importance and your divinity off of technological approval, okay? One person that sees my video that resonates with it and begins to transform their self from within because they're actually authentically listening to their own heart and their own life is more important than 10 million views, 100,000 comments, and 1,000 thumbs up from some mindless, spineless, stupid fucking subjective shit that is trending just to distract people. Propaganda, total propaganda to keep people distracted. I'm good with my 1 view. Thank you very much. Because I know who I am. I don't have to share any of this. I never had to in the first place. You know why I share this? It's because it's not that I won't be good if I don't do this. I think of the people that I could have helped. What if I don't do this? And I could have helped people. Right? That's why I do this, is the potential of the people that I can help. But I didn't take a sacred obligation. There's been no sacred oath. There's been no sacred vow. There's been no contract that I've signed that I have to help others and share. No, I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart. But I certainly don't let technology override my importance of my own conscious declaration of my own self within. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Don't ever base your importance off of other people's approval. That's just not the move. That's just not the move. You know what I mean? You determine who you are. You determine the love that you receive. Okay? Next. We need another incense. What are we doing? Crown chakra, root, or heart? Crown chakra. The crown. The grand unification. Fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it. Wind cannot wither it. Water cannot wash it away. It's that ether, that ish to make your soul burn slow. What's next? I don't know if I want to jump into parallel lives. That's kind of trippy right now. It's kind of really trippy. Like particle and waves and the observer effect, and how when you're not observing it, it acts as a wave. The double slit experiment with the atoms going through the slits, and when you're not being observed, it acts as a wave and creates a wave pattern, and when it's observed, it acts as a particle. So we're collapsing realities just by perspective, perception, observation observer, observed, observing, observation. Multidimensional happenings taking place at the same time. Past, present, future. Length, breadth, depth, time, space. 14 planes of existence. 11 dimensions of consciousness. Next. The super brain. Super brain. In order to gain a super brain, you have to engage in a process of meditation. Meditation is the only experience, and it's not an experience of doing anything. It's an experience of unclutching and letting go into the state of existence. That is the only process that lights up your entire brain. We're talking global EEG coherent connections formed in less than 3 months by doing absolutely nothing but unclutching and letting your brain relax. Isn't that strange? The act of doing absolutely nothing is the only act that lights up your entire brain and crisscrosses it with global EEG coherence. Other than that, you're using a sliver of it. Mathematics, you're in a little part. Music, you're only activating a little part, right? Literacy, you're only activating a little part. Science, you're only activating a sliver, a percentage, a small percentage of your brain. Confirmation. But meditation, the act of unclutching from everything and falling into the pure existence, pure consciousness, pure bliss state. Within 3 months, the entire brain is crisscrossed with coherence, and you are now operating with full super brain capacity by meditation. It's been proven so many times. I can give you 1,000 scientific journals. Neurogymming, building that new neural net. Fuck going to the gym and working on your biceps. Go into meditation and work on your super brain. Build that neural net, you know what I'm saying? Neurogym, flexing on them with that super conscious intelligence. That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Not that working on your body is a bad thing or anything. You got to stay flexed and fit and on them for, the whole shebang. But, yeah. What's next? We're in the ground. We're up there. These animals are going at it. There's 2 cats, Dharma and Mukti. They're not going there for the plate. Next. Arul Perum Jyoti, Arul Perum Jyoti, Tani Perum Karune, Arul Perum Jyoti, 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 Jyoti Perum, Jyoti, Jyoti, Jyoti Shivam. The light body activation, golden age light body activation. Remember the light. Remember that you are the light. You are the light. You are not just this meat body, blood and flesh and sugar-based intelligence of the brain. You have an astral, a light body. a real soul, a real one, a real soul. You know what? This space right here is more alive than you could possibly imagine. My words and sound waves are traveling through this alive space and reaching your eardrums, and you are turning it into coherence. You couldn't do that if this space wasn't alive. This is that great spirit, the ether, shit that makes your soul burn slow. Next. Justice. Justice and pure balance. Justice and pure balance. Justice and pure balance is when your cognition is absolutely unified with the realm of spirit and its extension being the realm of material, and you are living a 200% life, 100% spiritual and 100% material, and you're giving glory and honor to both simultaneously, and glory to that which is beyond, sustaining the oneness. To know yourself as absolute spirit, unlimited, and to know yourself as a material form that has come here to experience material and the infinitude of spiritual existence. When that is balanced and you seek enlightenment and wealth in equal measure, and you give glory to both the spirit and material worlds simultaneously, that, my friend, is balance and justice. That was beautiful. That's some beautiful shit right there. That's a lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? That's a lifestyle. 200% life, balanced, you know what I mean? We're taking care of both simultaneously. The heaven is coming to earth and the earth is going to heaven, and I'm in both simultaneously and beyond both. Next. New vision. Is that it? I think that might be it, y'all. I think this might conclude our intimate session of long form requested time spent together. I found that to be quite interesting. And I'd say I would do it again, maybe tomorrow. Anyways, let's seal this in with that which we have come from. Only love and light lives here. No negativity, no darkness, only lessons that lead to alchemization and transformation, even when they look like delusion. It's always for your highest good. And with that said, See you next time.